Hello? I see. Thank you very much, Mrs. Hara, for your presentation and for taking some time to be with us today. So,
Thank you very much, Gemma. Our next lecturer is part of the English teaching community of our region. He is an English teacher and graduated from our university. He has a bachelor in education. Teacher Castro was one of the workshop held last was in one of the workshops held last December, in our university, and he was in the one that was related to Commonlit, the Commonlit platform. We are more than happy to have him here today. Dear community, we give you Mr. Fernando Castro.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Nice to see you all here. Well, as Dina was telling you, I am a teacher of English. I work here at the University of La Serena, and I teach reading comprehension for students of programs that are not related to English, okay? And today I am going to talk about the use of Commonlit with these students. Okay, before I start, I would like to tell you this quote that I found from Lebowitz. It says, "Think before you speak and read before you think." And for me, this makes a lot of sense because nowadays, people just talk about everything without thinking, and they do not pay a lot of attention to real information, to the facts. So they do not spend time reading, and this is what I'm going to talk about today. Let me give you a little bit of context. I work teaching reading comprehension skills for students of the third semester of teaching programs, specifically Spanish and philosophy, or Castellano y Filosofía, and history and geography. According to the curriculum in Chile, students from 12th grade should have a B1 level according to the CFR, but in reality, when they graduate, they do not have the set level. So it's complicated for me to start this course assuming they have the level. So what I do is to take a placement test, and I get to know the level of students and where I should start working from. Apart from that, I believe that the main purpose of this subject is to democratize the access to new knowledge. Nowadays, knowledge updates every 50 or 70 days. So what you know today may be outdated 2 months, in 2 months' time. So I think that allowing them to know the language in which knowledge is produced mainly, it's an opportunity for them to democratize their access, okay? So I found Commonlit together with Sergio, and we talk about this with all the colleagues that participated in the workshops. And Commonlit is a platform that has a lot of resources for us, and we can take a lot of advantage when you work with this platform in your classes. So what can we find in Commonlit? Gemma talked a little bit about that, but I want to reinforce some of that information. We can find a vast number of texts in English, approximately 2,300, more or less. You can find the text graduated and with a specific range, a lexile range. So you can find text of 500 words, 600 words, 1,000 words. You can have opportunities for active reading, because you will see in a moment that the texts are not revealed immediately. So students read a part of the text, then they click a question, they answer, and if they answer correctly, they can see another part of the text, and they do that until they finish reading. So that's active reading. Apart from that, we have evaluation questions, so we can know what they have understood from the text, okay? And apart from that, there are, the platform has a page in which you can you can monitor the students' progress, so you can see which answers they had wrong, how many students participated, and many other things. So let's see how Commonlit works. I have a short video that I'm going to narrate. This is the first page of Commonlit, and you can just click one of the two options. So you can explore the content, or you can find your control. So let's see how the content works. This is another page. You can see on the left side that we have the type of content that I'm going to move a little bit, sorry. The grade you have from 3rd grade to 12th grade. You have a lexile range as well. Let's see. You can find also different genres that we're going to see in a second. So here you can find biographies, letters, science fiction, and a lot of genre that will allow you to find the correct text for your lesson, and many other literary resources related to the organization of the text. If you need a poem, or if you need, for example, metaphors, you can look the resources that you can find inside the text. But the important part is that we can find English resources, texts in English. As I told you before, there are approximately 2,300 texts, and you will find something like this. Okay, we have a salute to Memorial Day, the origins of the Memorial Day, and a long list of different texts. You can find a brief summary of the text, the grade, the kind of text, and the lexile range. So in this case, we have 700 words, 1,200 words, and so on and so forth. So as you can see in that text, in those texts, we have the summary. The resources that you can find are varied, and you can find also texts that are updated, related to the student's need. You can find something related to their likes and things like that. And of course, you click any of the text, and you can assign this as an assessment for your students. And then they can work on their cell phones or tablets, etc. It's as simple as that. You just click a button and you look for the information you need. Okay, let's go back to the presentation. Okay, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the activities that I have presented to my students. We have worked with several texts, but one of them is the one I want to tell you about. This was related about a movie called Hidden Figures. Have you heard about that movie? Okay, thank you. It's about a group of Black women who get to work to NASA. Okay, so I would like to show video number 2, please, before we continue. Okay, so this is a very beautiful movie about these three black women who get to work to NASA. They are surrounded by by white males, so they have a very tough work environment, and they outstand with their intelligence. So we discussed this a little bit with the students. We talk about this movie. They didn't know that these women really existed. This was based on real facts. And after that, I proposed an activity. So can we go to the next slide? Siguiente diapositiva, por favor. Thank you. So first, I used the Commonlit resources. They had to read the text actively, which means reading each of the paragraphs and answering the questions, okay? If you see in your folders, you will find the text that they had to read. So if you would look in your folders. So unfortunately, when you print the text, you cannot have active reading questions. But as I work with cell phones, because I like to include technology in my lessons, they did not get to read the whole text unless they answered each of those questions, okay? After that, they had to answer the evaluation questions. If you go to the second page, you will see the evaluation questions. There are 5, I think. They answer those questions. And then they have to work on a graphic organizer. We were dealing with graphic organizers because one of the topics in this subject is the organizational patterns in text. So we were talking about chronological text, descriptive text, cause and effect, comparison and contrast. And in this case, they had to figure out which graphic organizer was the best for this kind of text. And after they did that, they had to identify unknown vocabulary. So we have the activities that Commonlit proposes, and also we can modify and add more to these texts. As you can see, the texts are not so long. I think that one has like 1,000 words, no more than that. And the topic was interesting for them. The movie is not a very old movie, but apart from that, Commonlit offers you texts that can suit the reality of their students. So when I work with history students, I find texts about the Second World War, or when I'm working with Spanish students, I find something related to literature or famous writers. So you have a lot to find in Commonlit. Let's go to the next. Okay, so as I told you before, this is how they find the text. This is one part. And this is blurry because they cannot say this unless they answer question number 1. Okay? And they can activate a sort of reading out loud. And they can highlight information on their cell phones. Okay? Let's go to the next one. Here I have the control, I forgot it. Sorry. And then when they read everything, they can start the evaluation, okay? I did the exercise and they had 3 out of 5 questions. And I can see this later in my computer, and they can see that as well, okay? Here they have the evaluation questions related to the text. So they read the question, they practice skimming, scanning again, and they found the answers they need. And this is what I find the most useful for me. I see that 15 students did not work on this. I can also see that 91% had correct answers. The highest scores, the lowest scores, a summary of all the answers. I can see the name of each student. I blurred them because I don't want to reveal their identity, but you can see that some of them had 100%, 67%, the wrong answers and everything. And I don't have to do anything. I don't have to check pieces of paper and then stay until 4 a.m. That's great. Okay, and the result of this activity, I can show you a graphic organizer. Remember, the purpose of this was creating this timeline because the text was chronological text, and also students allowed me to show the words they didn't know about. Okay? And some final insights. We have a large collection of text, and that allow us to make our students feel engaged with this. We have ready-made resources that make us and help us to save a lot of our valuable time. We can make our students have more encounters with the language inside the classroom or outside the classroom. And also, Commonlit can make teachers from different subjects work together with new methodologies such as CLIL, working, for example, with something related to history in English, or task-based learning, and many other cross-curricular activities. And that's it. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you, Fernando. That was such an encouraging lecture. Thanks a lot. Dear community, we hope that so far this seminar is being a refreshing opportunity to reflect upon new experiences and strategies that you can use during your teaching practices and, of course, in order to nourish your professional development.
Okay, so now we will have a break of 15 minutes. Please enjoy, help yourselves to some complimentary coffee and treats waiting for you outside the auditorium, and see you back at 4:30 p.m. in 15 minutes, okay? Así que en 15 minutos nos volvemos a ver. Afuerita hay café, pancitos, dulcecitos.